Hey guys, welcome to a commentary done by FireXFred. Today we're going to be having DuckloadRa, which is just a hilarious name, aka White Raw, but I just love DuckloadRa way better. As our red Protoss up here in the top, as the orange Protoss, Adelscott, our French buddy, playing down here the Protoss pieces. We're on Metalopolis. Great map. A lot of people like this map. It's pretty balanced. These positions are surprisingly far away from each other by ground. You have to go all the way down, all the way around, and then you get to your opponent's base. But by air, they're incredibly short. So sometimes you see some, as Protoss, sometimes see Void Rays or maybe Phoenixes just to get in there. Any Stargate units, really. Or even drops. I've seen that. But we'll see what these guys are going to do. Everything's looking pretty standard. Production almost synchronized. Both of these guys know what they're doing. Chrono boosting probes out, chrono boosting probes out. Pretty much the same thing. We're going to see the gateway going down. It goes down at 12 for Adelscott, and also at 12 for DuckloadRa over here, our red Protoss buddy. Not much is going on. Duckload is going out to scout. He is unfortunately going the wrong way. So it's going to take him a while to find out where Adelscott is. Gas going down almost simultaneously for both of those guys. Everything's still pretty darn lined up here in our production tab. Pretty standard builds. No one's doing anything really crazy yet. No probe rush or anything like that. That would be kind of silly. So in just a second here, we're going to be able to start seeing what they're going to be doing. Whether they maybe throw down another gateway, throw down a core, and we do see the core going down for our buddy Adelscott here. Not quite yet. And just a couple seconds later, Cybernetics core going down for DuckloadRa, red Protoss buddy. A Zealot being popped out for Adelscott as he's chrono boosting probes. Both of them, making sure to get their pylons up, not getting supply blocked, not making any silly mistakes. Chrono boosting probes out still is Adelscott, making those pylons. Pylons are very good. I like them a lot. Let's see if he starts that warp gate research right away. Perfect. Right away, right when that building morphs in, he gets the research and DuckloadRa. Also, maybe it'll take a second. Got the gas for it, and bam, done. So Stalker's being built, and for Duckload, the second assimilator is going down. So we start to see some sort of variance in their play. Adelscott does take out that scouting probe. It was being kind of pesky, but that Zealot took nice care of it. Another gateway going down for Adelscott. Another gateway also. So 3 gateways total. And just the one for DuckloadRa so far, but he does throw down that robotics facility. So let's see what he's going to do with that. Maybe get an observer out, maybe get a quick immortal. Immortals are great for holding off early pushes. They just kill stalkers so quickly. Still no gas. Notice this from Adelscott. Adelscott likes to do this where he just doesn't get gas for quite a long time. So we'll keep watching, and there he does. He gets the gas a little bit quicker than sometimes he does, but he does have these 3 warp gates. He wants to be able to produce constantly out of them. And now we see another gateway going down for Duckload. Chrono boosting that warp gate research out, trying to get it out pretty quick. He'll be able to warp in units with that. And now Adelscott has stopped making probes for just a second. He does have good, nice saturation. Almost too much even. And the warp gates coming in now, being made into gateways being made into warp gates. See on the production tab, the observer is being built. It pops out just now, and now the 3 gateways, warp gates, 2, 3, and we'll see and a robo bay going down. So right now, just a handful of gateway units. Day 9 just died and then rolled over in his grave because and actually he cancels the robo bay. He sees that push coming and knows that he's not going to have the Colossus out in time. So he actually throws down a pylon, and he has a sentry. He's going to be able to block the ramp. He does block the ramp very nicely. That army is much bigger for if we look at the army tab, for Adelscott, our orange buddy. But Duckload does have these sentries, so he's going to be able to block that ramp, see if he gets it again. Nice force field. He's going to be able to take out these couple of units. The Stalkers do get a couple of shots off, but not a big deal. He has the energy for another force field, and he does get it down. That army would just roll him over if he was able to get up that ramp right now. But Adelscott actually doesn't have vision, not able to attack up there because of that force field. Still, shouldn't be pushing in like that, just taking some damage that's unnecessary. And now the Immortal popping out, going to be able to help a lot in defending that attack. We have Duckload's Observer over here, looking out, looking and seeing what Adelscott's doing. Adelscott's still just trying to push up that ramp. Not entirely smart. He does have the bigger army, but that ramp is just such a good spot to defend. Very nice for DuckloadRa. And we see the expansion going down for Adelscott. He knows that this push isn't gonna win him the game, so he's just gonna try and contain, throw down a little contain on DuckloadRa, and expand. So hoping that Duckload won't be able to get out of his base for quite a while, and he'll be able to get this expansion up and running and useful to him. Right now it's not useful to him, it's just 400 minerals that are doing nothing so far, but in a couple of minutes it will be very, very useful. Adelscott does have this pylon over here, so he's able to reinforce his units very quickly. Of course, he's able to warp in units wherever this pylon is powering. A lot of zealots actually coming from DuckloadRa. Those are able to just take a lot of damage from stalkers, so much damage from stalkers. Stalkers just don't kill zealots very well, and immortals kill stalkers very well. So when DuckloadRa does choose to go down, he's probably going to get this Colossus out. Yep, one Colossus out. No Thermal Lance just yet. But he wants to get that Colossus down, get him out so he can push and break out of this ramp. These zealots will just take so much of the damage that's going to be dealt. And Adelscott patrolling his stalkers over here, worried about maybe a drop. Because if you do contain your opponent here, you have to be worried about him getting around the contain. So those stalkers just a precautionary measure. We do have this expansion up, some great saturation at both bases. Oh, and he's pushing out with the Colossus. The Colossus is able to just walk over those force fields. These zealots, as I said, are just taking so much damage. These stalkers can micro forever and just not do a lot because those zealots just have so much life. And now, a pretty scary force here from DuckloadRa. We see the army sizes are just about even. Another Colossus on the way, and a couple more gateways on the way also. That's 4 more gateways to add to our 3. That'll be 7 total. 2 gas, no gas here yet. He's just going to try and produce out of those 7 gateways. Just lots and lots and lots of gateway units. But this army is very scary coming in from DuckloadRa. This pylon, I like it here because he can warp units onto the low ground right there, just like he just did. And he's going to want to put his zealots out in front, take a lot of the damage. Colossus will be in back dealing damage. Stalker is also dealing quite a bit of damage to other stalkers and gateway units. Duckload does have this observer right here seeing absolutely everything. He knows, and he's putting down the pylon, very bold pylon right there. But the Colossus are going to be able to take out this small group of stalkers. I don't know why he's taking out that small group of stalkers. Maybe he's going to try and surround. But it doesn't look like there's just enough units, and these guys are too far away. Just a bad, bad, bad engagement for Adelscott right there. Just splitting up your army is not something you want to do. Very good sending these Colossus after these stalkers over here, and Immortal after the stalkers. Very, very nice. Nice control by DuckloadRa. Looks like he's just going to be able to power through. He does have... Yep, and there's the GG from Adelscott. So, this is a best of 3, so stay tuned for the other games in this best of 3. Thanks, this is FireXFred. Goodbye.